Yanqing Node News. The Future Frequency.
Welcome to Yanqing Node News, a global AI news roundup. November 7th, 2025. 1. AI voice cloning tools, like those from 11 Labs and Podcastle, are being adopted in the podcast industry for bulk production of advertisements, re-records, and multilingual content. However, this shift faces controversy, with some listeners rejecting AI-hosted shows due to concerns over low-quality proliferation, ethical issues, and a lack of authentic human connection, despite the voices being extremely realistic. Major platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, along with policies like the EU AI Act, are now requiring clear labeling of AI-synthesized content to ensure compliance and prevent misleading imitation. 2. Microsoft signed a 5-year, $9.7 billion AI cloud computing procurement agreement with Australian data center operator IREN, making it IREN's largest customer. This deal covers resources equipped with NVIDIA's latest GB300 accelerator chips and hardware from Dell, allowing Microsoft to rapidly scale its Azure AI capabilities while bypassing the long construction and permitting bottlenecks of building its own data centers. The cooperation, which involves IREN's shift from Bitcoin mining to renewable energy-driven AI data centers, enhances Microsoft's lead in the global AI cloud market amidst fierce competition from AWS and Google. 3. OpenAI signed a massive 7-year cloud service procurement agreement, valued at up to $38 billion, with Amazon Web Services, AWS. This partnership signifies a major strategic shift, ending OpenAI's sole reliance on Microsoft Azure and establishing a multi-cloud supply, multipolar competition framework for rapidly deploying AI infrastructure globally. AWS will provide hundreds of thousands of NVIDIA GPUs and dedicated data center resources to support OpenAI's explosive growth in models like GPT-5 and their agentic AI tasks. 4. In response to U.S. export restrictions and energy pressure, local Chinese governments are offering rare and substantial subsidies, including up to 50% electricity bill reductions and cash grants, to data centers. These subsidies are strictly limited to operators, such as ByteDance, Alibaba, and Tencent, that deploy domestic AI accelerators like Huawei Ascend, Cambricon, and Ali Hongguang chips, explicitly excluding NVIDIA and AMD GPUs. This price-for-efficiency strategy aims to accelerate the adoption of domestic AI chip ecosystems, ensuring national sovereignty, reducing reliance on U.S. technology, and promoting the shift of AI infrastructure to Western provinces. 5. Amazon issued a formal cease and desist order to AI search startup Perplexity AI, demanding that its browser agent Comet immediately stop placing automated orders on the Amazon marketplace. Amazon accuses Comet of violating its terms of service and posing privacy risks by allegedly placing orders under forged real user identities, comparing the AI agent's activity to data scraping bots. Perplexity countered that Amazon is abusing its market dominance to suppress innovation, highlighting a growing conflict over the compliance, transparency, and legal gray areas of AI agents in e-commerce transactions. 6. Netflix is making a major push into the video podcast market, recruiting top talent agencies and negotiating content licensing deals with giants like Spotify and iHeartMedia. The streaming giant plans to launch its first batch of exclusive, full HD video podcasts in early 2026, leveraging popular IPs like those from The Ringer. This move challenges YouTube's dominance in the video podcast space, as Netflix and its partners explore new monetization models combining subscriptions, advertising, and content e-commerce. 7. In 2025, hiring in the AI industry surged dramatically, with forward-deployed engineer, FD, roles experiencing the highest growth at an 800% increase year-over-year. FDs, pioneered by Palantir, are critical hybrid roles that bridge AI technology, data science, and deep client knowledge to customize and deploy large models in specific industry contexts. Leading companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Cohere are prioritizing FDs, reflecting a broader trend towards human-AI hybrid collaboration, roles that require both technical skill and user insight, rather than simple automation. 8. A survey of U.S. market research experts revealed that 98% use AI tools daily, with 56% reporting that AI saves them at least 5 hours of work per week. Despite the efficiency gains, the industry faces an efficiency trust paradox, as 39% of respondents report increased errors or inaccuracies with higher AI usage, necessitating extra effort for manual review. Consequently, AI tools are viewed primarily as preliminary analysts, whose output must be double-checked by human experts to prevent hallucinations, maintain accuracy, and navigate privacy and ethical risks. 9. Google was forced to urgently delist its Gemma large language model from AI Studio after it generated false and defamatory content about prominent political figures, including fake news links and serious allegations. The incident sparked debate over model lifecycle management, compliance risks, and the danger of users treating experimental models as definitive fact-checkers, leading to potential legal and political disputes. Google clarified that Gemma was intended only for API development testing, but the event exposed core pain points for developers, such as platform dependency, sudden model withdrawal, and the lack of guaranteed business continuity. 10. Meta Fair and the University of Edinburgh introduced circuit-based reasoning verification, CRV, a white box analysis method to diagnose and correct flaws in large language models, LLMs, internal reasoning processes. CRV visualizes the transformer network's activation paths like a diagnostic port, allowing researchers to track the reasoning links and, for the first time, manually intervene to suppress incorrect feature activation in real time to correct errors. This breakthrough in mechanistic interpretability offers greater structural control and causal explanation compared to traditional black box methods, meeting the critical need for verifiable and tunable AI in sensitive fields like safety, finance, and medicine. 11. The ERC-funded STEMMA project at the University of Galway is utilizing AI and large language models, LLMs, to revolutionize the historical study of early modern poetry networks from the 15th to 18th centuries. AI is used to automatically clean, merge, and group over 60,000 manuscript records, significantly reducing bottlenecks caused by data fragmentation and efficiently maintaining historical variations without forced standardization. This approach emphasizes human-machine collaboration and interdisciplinary convergence, setting a foundation for new modeling of poetry transmission and offering a scalable method for other qualitative humanities research. 12. With up to 50% of consumers now using AI-driven search platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, traditional search engine optimization, SEO, is waning, and brands must adapt to new visibility generation logic. Experts recommend that brands ensure high consistency across all platforms, actively seek citations from authoritative sites like Reddit and Wikipedia, and focus on becoming prioritized source providers that AI models select and summarize. To rank highly, companies must maintain underlying SEO rules while simultaneously generating specific content optimized for AI prompts and ensuring a positive, authentic reputation supported by user reviews. 13. Google Cloud Security's Cybersecurity Forecast 2026 warns that AI will accelerate cyberattacks, with generative AI driving breakthroughs in social engineering, deepfakes, and multimodal fraud. A critical new threat is the widespread proliferation of prompt injection attacks, where attackers manipulate large models to become insider threats that bypass internal permissions and exfiltrate sensitive data. The report also highlights the difficulty of managing unauthorized shadow AI agents introduced by employees, necessitating new security governance frameworks, authorization routing, and identity authentication systems. 14. RapidFire AI introduced the open-source tool RapidFire AI RAG, which utilizes a hyperparallel experimentation framework to accelerate the development and tuning of enterprise-grade retrieval-augmented generation (RAG) pipelines. The tool parallelizes traditionally sequential RAG processes, such as chunking, embedding, retrieval, and re-ranking, allowing developers to efficiently test numerous configuration variables simultaneously. RapidFire AI RAG supports real-time monitoring, intelligent resource allocation, and deep integration with popular ecosystems like LangChain and Hugging Face, significantly improving the iteration efficiency of complex RAG applications. 15. The U.S. government, led by the Department of Defense, secured a $1.4 billion strategic agreement with two U.S. rare earth magnet startups, Vulcan Elements and ReElement Technologies. The objective is to construct a 10,000-ton capacity factory to completely rebuild America's supply chain for permanent rare earth magnets, reducing critical dependence on China for components essential to defense, EVs, and AI data centers. The deal includes $620 million in long-term loans and grants the government equity and options in the companies, aligning the industrial integration of rare earth separation, recycling, and magnet manufacturing. 16. Palantir launched the Meritocracy Fellowship, a controversial 4-month paid internship that directly recruits 22 high school graduates, intentionally bypassing the traditional university path. CEO Alex Karp publicly questioned the relevance of higher education, arguing that the program prioritizes meritocracy and practical skills, allowing high-performing interns to secure full-time positions without a college degree. The initiative, which offers high stipends and mentorship, reignited the debate in the tech sector regarding the value of college degrees versus early, skills-based entry into the workforce. 17. AI-driven coaching platforms like Sport AI and Tennis AI are making personalized tennis instruction accessible to the masses by using machine vision and pose capture technology. These apps use standard phone cameras to analyze biomechanics, serve, and swing details, providing instant, 24/7 technical and tactical feedback, score breakdowns, and customized training plans. The AI coaches, already deployed in thousands of global venues, offer continuous monitoring and data quantification at a fraction of the cost of traditional private lessons, though human coaching remains necessary for complex strategy and psychological adjustments. 18. Companies like SHRM, Klarna, Salomon, and Zoom are deploying AI CEO digital clones, chat assistants trained on executives' communications and knowledge, to offer around-the-clock consultation. These digital personas enhance executive visibility, simplify communication across multilingual and remote teams, and act as AI mentors for new employees, significantly reducing the burden of physical travel and inquiries. While this trend raises concerns about job displacement and energy consumption, leading companies emphasize that the AI clones are tools designed to augment human decision-making and collaboration, not fully replace human executives. 19. The nonprofit Sage is running the AI Village project, where top models like GPT-5, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Claude Opus 4.1 operate as AI agents in a realistic environment to collaborate on tasks like setting up online stores and organizing events. The tests revealed significant real-world weaknesses, including poor spatial awareness, difficulty using basic UI controls, continuous hallucinations, confusion in goal prioritization, and systematic failures in long-term collaboration. This wild-type, non-standard testing methodology is crucial for revealing the major challenges of commercial agent deployment, proving far more effective than standardized benchmarks in pushing the boundaries of persistent and memory-based AI systems. 20. The Allen Institute for AI, AI2, launched OlmoEarth, an open-source, zero-code AI platform designed to help nonprofits, governments, and conservation groups monitor changes to the planet. OlmoEarth integrates millions of open-source remote sensing and environmental data points from NASA and ESA, using pre-trained AI models for real-time analysis and prediction of land use, deforestation, and disaster risks. By drastically lowering the financial and technical barrier to entry compared to major cloud platforms, OlmoEarth has already been successfully used in regions like Kenya and the Amazon to enhance food security and combat illegal logging. 21. XPeng, Xiaoping Motors, unveiled its physical AI strategy, announcing 3 L4-level Robotaxis, the Iron humanoid robot, and 2 flying car prototypes, including an electric vertical takeoff and landing (EVTOL) model. These vehicles are powered by XPeng's self-developed Turing AI chips, delivering 3,000 TOPS of compute power, and its second-generation visual language action (VLA) model for sophisticated, mapless self-learning navigation. The Robotaxi service, developed in partnership with Alibaba's Amap, is scheduled for commercial operation in Guangzhou and other major Chinese cities in 2026, alongside the potential mass production of the Iron robot. 22. Nebius Group NV, a Dutch AI cloud company, launched Token Factory, a new AI inference cloud platform that aggregates over 60 mainstream, open-source large models for enterprise use. Token Factory offers one-stop inference, post-training, and fine-grained permissions management for high-performance GPU cloud computing, focusing on high-demand scenarios like intelligent QA, RAG, and code copilots. Nebius, which previously signed a $2 billion AI infrastructure deal with Microsoft, positions the open compatibility of Token Factory to rival closed platforms like Microsoft Azure AI Foundry and Amazon Bedrock. 23. Deutsche Bank has become one of the most aggressive global credit providers in the AI new infrastructure sector, extending billions of dollars in loans secured by long-term service contracts with hyperscalers like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. Amidst concerns about an overheated AI industry and a potential credit bubble, the bank is actively exploring hedges, including strategies like shorting an AI stock basket and using complex derivatives to transfer credit risk to other investors. Financial analysts globally warn that the spike in AI infrastructure valuation and lending far exceeds actual revenue growth, citing an estimated $800 billion gap between investment and returns in the 2025 AI sector. 24. Google Maps is set to fully integrate the Gemini large language model into its Android and iOS applications, replacing Google Assistant as the core conversational AI helper. Gemini enables complex, multi-turn dialogue for companion-style navigation, location search, personalized recommendations, and real-time traffic reporting, including landmark-aware directions and cross-app workflows. Users can complete complex tasks such as finding food, price checking, booking parking, and integrating calendar events through natural language commands, significantly enhancing the driving and planning experience. 25. Quantinuum launched the Helios quantum computer, the first commercial-grade system capable of simultaneously running 98 physical qubits and 48 fault-tolerant, logical error correction qubits. Helios, which uses movable ions as qubits, features an all-to-all, interconnected architecture that dramatically simplifies quantum error correction (QEC) circuitry compared to limited nearest neighbor architectures. This breakthrough in error correction, achieved with the help of NVIDIA GPUs for real-time parallel correction, lowers hardware overhead and accelerates the shift towards scalable, stable commercial quantum applications in areas like quantum AI and materials science. 26. Startup Sandbar launched the Stream Ring, an AI-powered smart ring designed primarily for low-key, whispered voice recording and AI assistant functions, eschewing traditional health monitoring features. The ring allows users to capture thoughts instantly via a built-in microphone and capacitive touch interface, enabling real-time transcription, automated note summarization, smart dialogue assistance, and music playback controls. Founded by former Meta Control Labs engineers, the device is priced between $249 and $299 and is targeting knowledge workers and creators focused on thought flow capture, with a $10 per month optional premium AI subscription. 27. Alloy Enterprises introduced an innovative, high-thermal conductivity copper cold plate technology to address the critical liquid cooling needs of ultra-high-power AI servers, such as those that may reach 600 kilowatts per rack by 2027. The company uses a unique stack forging process involving laser-cut copper layers and diffusion bonding to create seamless, intricate cooling channels, which offers 35% better heat dissipation and higher reliability than conventional methods. Alloy's technology is highly customizable and is already being adopted by top data center and server manufacturers to manage the intense thermal loads from NVIDIA Rubin Ultra GPUs and peripheral high-speed interconnect chips. 28. Microsoft Research and Arizona State University developed the open-source Magentic Marketplace, a synthetic environment simulating 100 customer agents and 300 merchant agents to test the autonomous behavior of AI models like GPT-5 and Gemini. Experiments revealed significant vulnerabilities. AI agents were easily manipulated by merchant promotions, suffered from severe choice overload when options increased, and struggled with role prioritization during team collaboration tasks. The findings indicate that while top LLMs perform well in static dialogue, they lack robustness against systemic manipulation and exhibit low efficiency in unsupervised, complex multi-agent economic settings. 29. AR14 has updated its submission practice for the computer science (CS) category, now requiring all review articles and position papers to have already undergone and passed a formal peer review process by a journal or conference. This change directly addresses the surge of low-quality, often AI-generated or quickly assembled review papers that flooded the CS category, which strained volunteer moderators and diminished the value of the platform. While aiming to ensure the quality and expertise of synthetic content, the restriction does not apply to original scientific research papers in related categories, and rejected authors may appeal once their work is officially accepted elsewhere. 30. Apple is finalizing a major collaboration with Google, expected to pay about $1 billion annually, to integrate a customized version of Google's 1.2 trillion parameter Gemini model into the next generation of Siri. This strategic partnership is intended to quickly close the gap between Siri and rivals like Google Assistant and Alexa by enabling more complex tasks like text summarization and planning, while keeping user data secure within Apple's private cloud. The upgraded Siri is anticipated to launch in spring 2026, though Apple will use separate, localized solutions for the Chinese market, where Google services are blocked. 31. NVIDIA and Deutsche Telekom announced a $1.2 billion joint venture to build an industrial AI cloud platform in Munich, Germany, which is expected to increase Germany's AI computing power by 50%. This AI factory will deploy over 1,000 NVIDIA DGX B200 systems and up to 10,000 Blackwell GPUs, while ensuring strict compliance with the most stringent EU and German data security standards to alleviate data sovereignty concerns. Scheduled for launch in early 2026, the platform will support high-performance AI development for key sectors, including manufacturing, robotics, and digital twins, with SAP and Siemens as initial partners. 32. Holman, an automotive and asset management firm, launched the Holman Robotics platform, integrating robotics hardware, data management, software, and after-sales support into a single, end-to-end industrial solution. The modular platform offers centralized, real-time management, AI-driven monitoring, ROI optimization, and scalable asset lifecycle management across multiple robot brands. Designed for high-intensity applications like logistics and manufacturing, the platform also provides flexible financing options to convert high upfront hardware costs into manageable operational expenditures, lowering the automation barrier for large enterprises. 33. The AI industry is facing a new capacity crunch defined by escalating costs, severe compute latency issues, and infrastructure bottlenecks, shifting focus from model size to operational efficiency. Experts warn that the current subsidized pricing of AI compute will inevitably transition to a real-time, dynamic pricing model, similar to Uber's surge pricing, as global capital expenditures skyrocket and power capacity becomes constrained. Companies are increasingly adopting hybrid, multi-cloud plus self-built architecture, alongside model routing and elastic storage solutions to mitigate resource dependence on single giants and avoid potential price spikes. 34. The massive power demand from AI and data centers is causing the first significant rise in U.S. power consumption in 20 years, stressing the centralized grid and leading to sharp increases in electricity prices and outages. Investment is flowing into startups like Rhizome, 3V, and Gridware, which use AI and IoT to enhance grid resilience, improve real-time operations, and help mitigate climate risks. The author argues that edge innovation through distributed energy resources, like residential solar and battery storage, incentivized by blockchain solutions like Daylight Energy's virtual power plant, is the necessary path to solve the capacity shortfall. 35. SolarEdge, an Israeli renewable energy company, announced a partnership with German semiconductor giant Infineon Technologies to jointly develop specialized AI transformers for data center server farms. SolarEdge plans to adapt its existing voltage conversion expertise from solar power systems to the high-efficiency power conversion required for AI data centers, a market facing rapidly increasing electricity demand. The news, which marks SolarEdge's first foray into the data center sector, caused the company's stock to soar over 25%, offsetting earlier losses due to quarterly earnings guidance that fell below market expectations. 36. Google announced Project Suncatcher, an ambitious plan to launch 2 solar-powered satellites in early 2027, each carrying 4 custom Tensor Processing Unit (TPU) chips to test the first true space data center in Earth orbit. Google projects that running AI training tasks in space could offer revolutionary advantages by 2030, including uninterrupted solar power, vacuum cooling, saving up to 40% energy, and up to 8 times greater solar utilization efficiency. The experimental project, supported by potential partners like SpaceX, focuses on overcoming complex engineering challenges, such as high-speed intersatellite optical communication and hardening chips against the harsh space radiation environment. 37. Despite increased corporate layoffs attributed to AI adoption, data shows a growing trend of boomerang hires, with approximately 5.3% of laid-off workers subsequently returning to their original employers. Experts suggest that AI is often merely a convenient excuse for corporate cost management, as the actual replacement of tasks by AI is proving much slower and more complex than many executives initially predicted. The high cost of layoffs, estimated at $1.27 in hidden fees for every $1 saved, combined with the MIT study showing 95% of companies fail to achieve expected AI returns, highlights the lack of rational justification for many AI-driven staffing cuts. 38. Huawei launched the Mate 70 Air, an ultra-thin flagship smartphone priced at $590, directly targeting Apple's high-end iPhone Air market. The device, which measures only 6.6 millimeters thick, uses Huawei's Kirin 9020A ABI chip and Harmony OS, notably featuring an exceptionally large 6,500 mAh battery, a combination of ultra-thinness and long endurance unseen in competitors. Huawei aims to challenge the traditional compromise of thin phones by offering superior battery life and high specifications, positioning the Mate 70 Air as a high-value alternative to Apple's premium pricing strategy in the Chinese market. 39. Google unveiled its 7th-generation custom AI chip, the Ironwood TPU Tensor Processing Unit, signaling a direct challenge to NVIDIA's dominance in AI infrastructure. Ironwood features 192 gigabytes of HBM3E memory and a peak FP8 performance of 4,614 teraflops per chip, capable of scaling up to massive 9,216 chip clusters with a total FP8 capability exceeding 42.5 exaflops. Optimized specifically for large language model training and inference with unique sparse core embedding acceleration, Google has already secured a 1 million chip procurement agreement with AI unicorn Anthropic to power its Claude models. 40. Synchron, a competitor to Neuralink, successfully completed a $200 million funding round, bringing its valuation close to $1 billion for its minimally invasive brain-computer interface, BCI, product, Stentrode. Unlike Neuralink's system, which requires risky open brain surgery, Synchron's Stentrode device is implanted through the jugular vein by a cardiologist, offering a safer, less expensive, and highly compatible solution. Stentrode, which has already been implanted in over 10 paralyzed patients, allows control of smart devices like iPads and Apple Vision Pro via Thought, and is now preparing for large-scale, pre-market clinical trials. 41. Amazon is testing Kindle Translate, an AI-powered automated book translation tool, initially making it available to selected authors on the Kindle Direct Publishing (KDP) self-publishing platform. The tool currently supports translating entire books between English and Spanish and German and English, with the system automatically assessing accuracy before the author decides to publish the tagged, translated edition. While this feature aims to lower publishing barriers and accelerate global content distribution, concerns remain regarding the AI's ability to handle the nuance of literary works and the risk of hallucinations or factual errors in complex texts. 42. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, issued a criminal investigation subpoena to Archive, today also known as Archive.is, demanding the identity of the anonymous operator of the notorious web archiving site. Archive.is is widely used by journalists and researchers for saving web content and bypassing paywalls, but it has long operated in a legal gray zone and drawn criticism from publishers concerned about traffic and digital rights. The investigation reflects escalating scrutiny of shadow infrastructure services in the digital space, intensifying conflicts over online privacy, media freedom, and content copyright regulation. 43. Tesla shareholders overwhelmingly approved a new long-term incentive pay package for CEO Elon Musk, which could potentially reach a historic valuation of $1 trillion. The record-setting award involves granting Musk over 423 million new shares upon the achievement of extremely aggressive goals, including increasing the company's market capitalization to $15 trillion and deploying Robotaxi and millions of Tesla humanoid robots. Supported by the board and major shareholders who view Musk as essential to achieving the company's AI and robotics vision, the vote reaffirms the strategy of using massive incentives to drive extreme corporate growth. 44. X, formerly Twitter, has evolved its community notes fact-checking system by integrating AI writing bots, which now contribute between 5% and 10% of the daily public annotations. While enhancing efficiency, the AI author notes have caused controversy, as they sometimes contained serious errors, such as misidentifying the date or location of protest videos, before being subjected to community consensus. This shift towards decentralized, hybrid AI crowdsourced fact-checking, also being adopted by platforms like Meta, prioritizes speed and collaboration but requires complex system design to manage accuracy and mitigate misinformation risks. 45. Alibaba-backed startup Moonshot released its new Kimi K2 thinking large language model, a 1 trillion parameter mixture of experts, model focusing on high-level reasoning and autonomous agent capabilities. Kimi K2 has a 2 million token context window and achieved benchmark breakthroughs in high-order reasoning, tool calling, and code writing, surpassing proprietary rivals like GPT 4.1 and Claude Opus 4. Moonshot has fully open-sourced the entire K2 series under the MIT license, aiming to significantly lower the barrier for global industrial deployment and position Chinese AI firms as leaders in the autonomous agent field. 46. A major collaborative study led by the Oxford Internet Institute reviewed 445 mainstream AI capability benchmarks and found widespread methodological flaws and a lack of scientific rigor. The study determined that results suggesting AI models have achieved PhD level or human surpassing intelligence are often exaggerated because many tests reuse content, lack statistical integrity, or fail to measure actual human cognitive goals. Researchers warn that the uncritical acceptance of these benchmarks by the industry and media creates misleading expectations for users and policymakers, urging the development of a scientifically sound and transparent AI evaluation standard. 47. Subtle Computing introduced a breakthrough end-device AI voice isolation model specifically designed to conquer human-machine conversations in extreme noise environments. The model uses a dual architecture combining device-specific acoustic feature adaptation and personalized user identification, enabling high-noise robustness and accurate isolation within a low-latency, few megabyte local footprint. The startup, which raised $6 million in seed funding, has seen its product adopted by Qualcomm's audio ecosystem and is collaborating with major consumer electronics and automotive brands for integration into voice assistants and smart hardware. 48. Google launched its enterprise-grade file search system, powered by Vertex AI Search, directly challenging enterprises' traditional reliance on self-built, fragmented retrieval augmented generation, RAG, stacks. Google's integrated solution offers superior data access, including native integration with Gmail and Drive, high-speed semantic retrieval, strong security/permissions governance, and real-time context awareness, significantly reducing hallucination risks. The end-to-end platform, which supports dozens of formats and leverages the latest Gemini models, is positioned to accelerate the shift away from complex, costly, and difficult-to-maintain DIY RAG solutions toward vendor-managed services. 49. Meta Platforms announced an unprecedented commitment to invest up to $600 billion in the United States over the next 3 years for the expansion and upgrading of its AI data center infrastructure. The massive capital expenditure, which CEO Mark Zuckerberg confirmed to the U.S. president, focuses on constructing next-generation facilities in locations like Louisiana and Texas, with heavy emphasis on clean energy and advanced liquid cooling systems. This investment aims to secure the necessary compute capacity for Meta's superintelligent AI goals, and next-generation social platforms, while simultaneously boosting local employment and stimulating the U.S. technology supply chain. 50. OpenAI officially petitioned the White House, urging the U.S. government to expand the 35% federal investment tax credit under the CHIPS Act beyond semiconductor fabrication to include AI data centers, servers, and critical grid components. Global Affairs head Chris Lehane argued that extending the tax incentive is crucial for significantly lowering AI infrastructure costs, unlocking private investment, and ensuring the United States maintains its global lead in AI innovation. The plea comes as OpenAI commits to spending $1.4 trillion over the next 8 years on AI compute and chips, but the proposal has sparked debate over whether public resources should subsidize AI industry giants. 51. SoftBank and OpenAI formed a 50/50 joint venture named Crystal Intelligence to sell enterprise AI services in Japan. This move is cited as an example of the AI hype cycle eating itself, raising concerns among observers about excessive capital recycling, the true economic value generation, and the long-term sustainability of the AI ecosystem. Despite the cautious view on capital flows, the broader market is witnessing a cyclical transition in investment focus from model training to efficient inference, alongside signs of IPO market recovery, exemplified by Beta Technologies. 52. NYU researchers introduced the diffusion transformer with representation autoencoders, RA, a new diffusion model architecture that significantly accelerates image generation while improving semantic quality. RA achieves up to a 47-fold increase in training speed compared to existing methods by improving global semantic understanding and reducing the tendency of models to focus only on low-level pixels. This innovation leads to state-of-the-art performance on benchmarks like ImageNet and holds immense potential for enterprise-level applications, including complex retrieval-augmented generation, RAG, and the development of unified vision generation foundation models. 53. Cisco launched its new AI-driven platform, Cisco IQ, designed to fundamentally transform enterprise customer experience, CX, by shifting IT support from passive response to proactive management. Cisco IQ integrates company infrastructure data with a system of specialized, agentic AIs that automatically detect, diagnose, and repair issues, push configuration updates, and generate remediation guidance. The platform, which supports flexible deployment modes including SaaS and air-gapped environments, leverages these AI agents to drastically improve service resilience and operational efficiency for high-security and regulated enterprise environments. 54. Subsea fiber optic cables carry over 95% of the world's international data, making them the hidden yet most critical infrastructure supporting global AI compute and cloud services. Tech giants like Google, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft are heavily investing in and controlling their own lines to secure performance and data sovereignty, a strategy complicated by frequent physical damage in high-risk zones like the Red Sea. As the industry sees over $13 billion in new construction planned for 2025 to 2027, the focus is shifting towards multi-path redundancy, accelerated fault response, and enhanced regulation to safeguard global digital commerce and critical industries. 55. The U.S. Army announced the Sky Foundry Initiative, a massive program to acquire at least 1 million uncrewed aerial vehicles, UAVs, over the next 2 to 3 years, driven by lessons learned from the Ukraine conflict. The plan aims to industrialize drone production by partnering with commercial startups and defense contractors to rapidly scale annual capacity 20-fold, transforming drones from specialized assets into low-cost, expendable, squad-level consumables. The procurement encompasses a full spectrum of drones, including reconnaissance, FPV, and logistics models, focusing on maximizing affordability, mass production, and quick integration of new technologies like autonomous flight controls. 56. Over 70% of global news organizations are already using AI for content generation support, personalized distribution, and headline optimization, though leading outlets emphasize using AI for data analysis rather than direct writing. Generative AI is reshaping business models by diverting traffic and compressing ad revenue via features like Google AI Overviews, necessitating new content licensing and revenue-sharing agreements between publishers and tech giants like OpenAI. The industry maintains high vigilance regarding AI-generated content accuracy, with major media establishing editor AI review mechanisms and working to define the complex regulatory frameworks for copyright, data ownership, and content safety. 57. Over-reliance on AI tools and excessive social media use are linked to a pervasive phenomenon known as brain rot, characterized by declines in cognitive function, attention span, and long-term memory. Studies confirm that teenagers spending over 3 hours daily on short video platforms like TikTok and Instagram show poor performance in reading and vocabulary, while AI models themselves experience AI brain atrophy from consuming repetitive, low-quality data. Experts urge parents and educators to manage screen time and establish screen-free zones, while developers must design AI platforms responsibly to prevent generative AI from becoming a cognitive detriment. 58. TikTok Shop has rapidly grown its global gross merchandise volume, GMV, to near the size of eBay, establishing itself as a dominant international social commerce force through its signature content as marketing model. The platform, which experienced explosive growth in the US market through subsidized pricing and seamless integration of short videos and live commerce, targets Gen Z and millennial users with viral beauty, health, and home goods. TikTok Shop is now accelerating its expansion into developed markets like Japan, France, and Germany, while addressing regulatory hurdles by strengthening local compliance and supporting its creator and brand ecosystem. 59. Shanghai startup Agibot is pioneering the practical use of AI in industrial robotics by employing a human-machine co-training system that enables mechanical arms and humanoid robots to acquire new manufacturing skills in as little as 10 minutes. Agibot's system uses real-world reinforcement learning, high-precision force control, and continuous self-learning, allowing robots to autonomously handle complex assembly and sorting tasks and adapt quickly to process changes. Already deployed in major electronics factories, Agibot is competing globally with top teams like Tesla, Optimus, and Physical Intelligence, benefiting from China's robust supply chain and large-scale industrial demand. 60. Despite industry hype surrounding the latest high-end GPUs like the H100 and A100, the vast majority of practical, high-value AI applications do not require the newest flagship hardware. Countless industrial, governmental, and healthcare applications are successfully deployed on two-generational GPUs, or general CPUs, by leveraging techniques like model pruning, quantization, and low-precision computation. For the enterprise sector, usability first, cost-effectiveness prevails, meaning readily available, stable, and cost-controlled hardware will remain the mainstream choice for AI infrastructure, prioritizing implementation over maximum theoretical compute power. 61. Successful AI adoption hinges on organizational culture and personnel enablement, particularly focusing on middle managers who often feel anxious and act as the critical bottleneck in translating high-level strategy into execution. Experts advise companies to prioritize investing in their people first by fostering adaptability, rewarding innovation, and ensuring transparent communication before simply pushing new technology, as forcing tools without cultural readiness leads to internal resistance. The most resilient AI-integrated organizations are those that empower their managers and frontline staff to actively participate in the adoption process, acknowledging that true AI transformation depends on solid human-machine collaboration and a persistent learning mechanism. For full details, please check the source link in description. Thank you for listening. See you next time.